This here is a remarkable,
Welcome to the Wedding of Distinction podcast, a program for the unique bride and groom. The Wedding of Distinction is a concept where brides and grooms want something better. Not just your average wedding. We have the tools to make that happen. Now, here's your host, Mike Fernino.
What's up, everybody? Welcome cordially to my little internet home of wedding banter and conversation. This is the Wedding of Distinction podcast, and I'm Mike Fernino. Thank you so much for the download, and please subscribe to our program as we continue to grow out our international audience. Now, I just want to put out there that I am a professional wedding DJ and MC based in Connecticut, and many of my guests are located in the same tri-state area. Now, I would encourage hiring some of these wonderful professionals that I'm interviewing with, but even if they're not in your area, learn from them, because the information they share on this program is remarkably relevant to help make your wedding planning process easier and, dare I say, stress-free. Recently, I was invited to bring our podcast to a vendor soiree, which was produced by Charlene Sharrow of WeddingStylesOfCT.com. The event was held at Lakota Oaks, which is a absolutely fabulous property located in Fairfield County of Connecticut. Many of the wedding vendors sat down with me and really gave some great information for the listeners of this program. And speaking of, on the podcast today, I have a conversation with Anitra from Chapels Confetti Event Design based in North Haven, Connecticut. Anitra goes in depth on the wedding planning process and why having an event designer can provide great convenience for a busy bride and groom who are simply overwhelmed trying to plan their wedding. So let's jump into the interview today on the Wedding of Distinction podcast. Hello, everybody. It's Mike from the Wedding of Distinction. I'm doing a live event tonight. We are at Lakota Oaks in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's a beautiful property, hotel, and conference center, by the way, for those who have retreats with your places of business. But we're talking weddings tonight. We're talking chapels and confetti. And I have a guest here, Anitra, who happens to handle everything from chapels to confetti. It's a very creative name.
Yeah, the name came from the fact that I specialize in weddings and also children's events. So there's the confetti with the children's events and the chapels for the weddings.
Yeah. All right, so let's begin. So a bride comes to you and says, "Help me!" Where do we start? What can you do? And what's the process that you recommend?
Well, we first start with a consultation, either by phone or I meet with the bride and groom at their location, wherever that may be, or even a coffee shop, a quiet place to sit down and discuss all the details, what they envision for their day and things like that. And from there, we talk budget, and then we start to see where the space is where they would like to have their wedding take place.
Now, is this full planning, a day of? I mean, it depends on the bride and groom, right?
Yeah, it depends on the bride and groom. It depends on how involved they want to be. Like some brides, they want to be hands-off. They just want you to take care of their day and just be there and enjoy it. And there's some that want to be hands-on. And so it depends. If they just want us to handle the day of, we can do that, be there to make sure that everything goes smoothly with any vendors that they've chosen.
A lot of wedding couples start planning, the planning process, and everything's great until they realize how much is involved.
Exactly.
How much is involved?
Lots of work, lots of planning. We have to find, first, like I said, the venue, and there's the venue, there's the bride's dresses, the bridesmaids' dresses, the favors, the decor, linens. There's a lot of things that take place in planning a wedding.
Do you also get involved with the booking of, let's say, the wedding DJ, the photography,
yes, definitely,
and things like that?
Yes, we can handle any, we have we've already met a lot of the vendors and we've used them on all the events, so that it's good for us to be there to help them, find what they need.
Anitra, have you ever had a situation where you're working with a couple and they introduce one of their vendors and that vendor is not exactly happening, right? And do you try to help your couples avoid mistakes? I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm there. I like to show them, the best, situation for them, and to not, to steer them in the right direction, basically.
And many of the recommendations, I would imagine, are based around their budget, right?
Definitely, yeah. I work within their budget, and if I can't, then I just let them know, ahead of time. This is what you're looking at in terms of pricing for things, and if they are able to handle it, then I can take care of them in any way.
Now, how have budgets changed over the years? Like, what is a typical budget now, from soup to nuts, so to speak, for a wedding?
Well, most of their budget, I would say more than 50% of their budget it depend on the venue. The venue is where you spend most of your budget because of, the space that you're paying for, and also, I guess, the food, which is another big expense.
Yes.
So I guess you could start at 10 and go up to, upwards from there.
Yeah, because sometimes people have like bridal shock when they go in, like, how much is this?
Yeah.
I have to pay this?
Yeah.
I remember back to 1993 when I had my wedding, and I think we paid $12,000, and that was like shocking at that particular time.
No, it's a lot more than that, depending on what you want,
Yeah.
and then depending on the amount of people. Sometimes you can have a more small, intimate event, or sometimes with two large families coming together, there's a lot more people involved.
Right, now that leads me to the next question, which is, what are you seeing as far as sizes? Because post-pandemic, what I've noticed as a wedding DJ is I'm not seeing the 250 person weddings now. What are you seeing?
They're starting to come up again. Everyone wants to be outside, so people are coming together again and having larger events. So I'm seeing up towards to 150, sometimes more. But then you like invite that many people, but most of the time it comes down once the RSVPs come back.
When should couples get their invitations out and notify their guests that they're getting married and here's the date?
6 to 8 weeks before, definitely.
Yeah. Are you seeing, is the barn thing still pretty popular?
Some people like the rustic feel, yeah. That's still popular in some places.
And what are the general areas that you work with your clients?
I'm in the North Haven area, so anywhere from upwards of North Haven, Milford, Brantford area.
Are you seeing wineries being more and more popular these days?
Yeah, depending. A lot of the wineries, they don't provide the food, so you would have to find your own caterer. But yeah, there's a lot of those as well.
What do you recommend as far as a bride who's in the beginning process of planning the wedding, as far as going and doing her research? What is a good place to start before she comes to a coordinator and employs you to help them put it all together?
I think they should think about what they would like to see in terms of their vision for the space. The wedding venue is, I think, most important. So they should start there and then see how much information or how much work that they intend to do on their own first before finding an event planner.
Right. Okay, so Anitra, how can the brides, I guess there are some grooms that might be listening, but I doubt it. How can the ladies get in contact with you to engage your services? Tell us about Chapels and Confetti.
Chapels Confetti, I can be reached on my website, chapelsandconfetti.com, or on social media at Chapels and Confetti.
There you
And
go.
also you can email me, chapelsandconfetti@gmail.com.
There you go. Anitra, Gibbs, Cote, want to get it right. Thank you for a few minutes on the program today. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to tell you about Lakota Oaks, Norwalk, Connecticut's premier conference center and wedding venue. Available to groups large and small, Lakota Oaks is situated on 66 picturesque, secluded acres of rolling hills, sweeping lawns, and scenic ponds in the heart of Fairfield County, offering 121 deluxe guest rooms, large social event spaces, state-of-the-art conference facilities, a 75-foot indoor lap pool and fitness center, walking and jogging, bike trails, indoor basketball, racquetball courts, outdoor tennis, volleyball, bocce courts. You get the idea. Lakota Oaks, Connecticut's premier conference center and wedding venue. Check them out at thelakotaoaks.com.
This here is a remarkable,
The Wedding of Distinction podcast is a production of Music in Motion Entertainment. All rights reserved. Any unauthorized publication of this program is strictly prohibited. For the Wedding of Distinction podcast, I'm Mike Vincent. Happy wedding planning, everybody.